What's up, everybody? Welcome to Waves and Rides, the channel where we talk all things cruising and theme parks. My name is Ryan. In today's video, let's plan a Disney cruise. That's right, everybody. In today's video, we will be talking about what it's like to plan a Disney cruise. Before we jump into today's discussion, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, follow us on TikTok and Instagram to keep up with everything that we're doing. Now, for today's video, we'll be talking about planning a Disney cruise. This is not so much going to be more of a step-by-step guide or anything like that. This is more of like a conversation. If I were to be talking to a friend, telling them what it's like to plan it, kind of giving little tips and hints, little things that they should just pay attention for, what they should expect. That's really what this conversation is going to sound like. So it is going to be a little bit more casual, but it's going to be just talking about what it's like to plan a Disney cruise, what to expect when getting ready to go on one. Now, let's dive right in. All right, so the first thing you want to keep in mind when planning a Disney cruise is that typically a Disney cruise is going to be a little bit more expensive than most of your other cruise lines out there. Definitely more expensive than a Royal Caribbean, Carnival, things like that. So be ready to spend a little bit more. Of course, you're paying for the Disney name. You're paying for the Disney experience. You're paying for that Disney magic. To me, it is totally worth it because of all that comes with it, which of course we'll talk about a little bit later on as we go through the video. But to me, just know that it is going to cost a little bit more. So go in expecting to pay slightly more for a Disney cruise. Now, when planning for a Disney cruise, be sure to plan ahead of time. Give yourself, because of the expense, plenty of time to pay off that cruise. So when you're planning a Disney cruise, give yourself, I would say, about a year out to plan the cruise, decide when you want to go. For me, that decision is pretty easy. To me, it's either late spring, early summer. I like going on cruises when the weather is warmer, simply because you get to take advantage of the pools, you get to take advantage of some tropical environments for the different places that you're going to be stopping at. For me, I like that part of it. Of course, I would say avoid hurricane season, which is late summer, early fall. Not to say that it's a bad time to go per se, because all the captains, whenever they're steering those ships, they are making sure that you are safe. They will never go into a storm. They always do everything they can to avoid it, keep all the passengers safe. But just overall, just to avoid any sort of changes to the itinerary, things like that, I would avoid hurricane season. Now, Disney does do Halloween and Christmas time cruises. So if that is something that you're looking forward to, is that something that maybe you want to set up, by all means, go ahead and do that. I've never done one myself. I'm still planning on doing Halloween and or Christmas Disney cruises at some point. So it is something I'm looking forward to. But like I said, my favorite time to go is late spring, early summer, right as the weather is warming up. So you can take advantage of the pools and beaches, well, the different stops that you're going. Now, like I said, give yourself plenty of time. I would say about a year out. Whenever you're booking the cruise, when you go through the Disney website or you're booking through a travel agent, something like that, be sure, like I said, that you're planning a year out. Now, whenever you're booking that, you only have to place a deposit at the time of booking. So it is something that you can parse out those payments if you need to. The deposit is going to vary based on who is in your party. But it can be anywhere from $250 to $1,200, or possibly even more, depending on, again, the size of your party, who is all going. The combination of adults versus kids will change what that deposit looks like for you. Now, when making that deposit, like I said, if you're booking through the Disney site yourself or through a travel agent, it's due at the time of booking. But you can always make payments for the total price throughout that booking. It does have to be paid in full. I believe it's 60 or 90 days, somewhere in that time frame, to be fully paid before your sailing date. Now, whenever you're booking that, they will give you the exact time frame and the exact date in which that final payment is due, but it gives you plenty of time to start making those payments and do that parsing out of the money side of it. Now, whenever you're making those payments, be sure that whenever you book, you download the Disney Cruise app, whether you're booking through an agent or yourself. Make sure you download that app to keep up with all the updates for your sailing. You can also use that app to go in and make your payments along the way. Now, when you download that app, you'll start to look at things like your itinerary. You want to pay attention to that when you're booking as well. Where you want to go, where you want to sail from. Now, Disney sails all over the world. They sail from a number of different ports here in the U.S., from Galveston in Texas to 3 or 4 different ports, I believe, out of Florida, even sailing out of New York and Los Angeles, even Vancouver for the Alaskan cruises. So they are all over the U.S. for the ports. So it's a matter of where you want to go to and what port is most convenient for you, both for how you're going to get to that port and the stops that you'll be making along your itinerary from that port. So also keep in mind, whenever you're making that booking, that is an important piece of it as far as the port and the itinerary, what you want to do. But also those itineraries and ports are going to change based on what ships are at those locations. So there's a few things you want to pay attention to at the time of booking. It does help to have a travel agent to clear up some of those things if you've never done that before yourself. If you're booking by yourself, I would recommend getting some assistance from somebody either who's done it or a travel agent or somebody who can share some advice as far as what to look for when booking. If you're planning on booking it yourself, do get still the advice from someone who has done it before. If you're going through that travel agent, they should know all these things, all the ins and outs of that piece of it. So you're going to pay attention to what port you're going out of, where you want to go as far as your stops for your itinerary, and what ship you want to go on. So all the ships for Disney are going to provide something individualistic for each ship. Overall, you're going to have a similar experience for every ship, no matter which one you're going on. You get the Disney magic, you get Disney theming, you're going to get amazing pools, restaurants, bars and lounges, kids areas. You're going to get amazing stuff regardless of what ship you're on, but it is important to pay attention to which ship you're on as far as you're planning for the different restaurants, you're planning for those kids areas, you're planning for what that itinerary is going to look like for you and your family. So pay attention again to the ship, the ports, and the itinerary there. That's where you're going to make that decision. Now, when you're booking that, once you've made your decision of where you want to go, where you want to leave from, and what ship you want to sail on, there are a few things to expect. Again, you're going to download that Disney Cruise Line app. From that app, along the way when making your payments and getting ready to set sail, there will be deadlines on there as far as dates for those payments. There's going to be dates for when you need documentation uploaded. So things like your passport, for example, needs to be uploaded. You need to make sure that you have your entire party's personal information on there as far as names, contact info, even emergency contacts. All of that just to make sure you are prepared and ready to sail when it comes time to sail away and just enjoy your vacation. You want to make sure you get everything done on time. That way there are no delays or no hiccups when it comes embarkation day. So pay attention to those dates and those timelines on the app as you're getting prepared for your sailing. There's also going to be a ton of information on the app as far as things that you can book while you're on there, whether it be times for shows, different restaurants maybe that you want to book that are specialty restaurants that are not included in the rotational dining. So pay attention to the app. It's going to have basically everything that you're going to want to need, that you're going to want to set up, that you're going to want to book, and plan for your family to enjoy that vacation to its fullest. Take full advantage of everything that the ship itself has to offer, even those excursions. So any sort of port adventures that you want to take advantage of, on any of the stops that you're taking, whether it be tours that you want to take, whether it be some sort of jet skis or parasailings or anything like that that is drawing you to those locations of why it is where you want to go. Again, it's all about exploring new places, exploring and seeing, taking different adventures more beyond just even the ships themselves. So if you want to take advantage of those port adventures, be sure to look through the app and see how much those things are going to cost you, because those would be extra. See what what your family may be into, whether it be snorkeling. I've been snorkeling before in Cozumel. It is fantastic. Riding jet skis, doing any sort of parasailing and tours. Those are always some of the most fun things I love, is taking the tours and just kind of learning about local cultures. But keep in mind, those are going to be an additional cost. So be prepared for that if you and your family want to explore or do any of those pieces there. Just keep that in mind for that additional cost along the way. Now, what to expect when you're getting even closer to sailing and even actually getting onto the ship. So what to expect is make sure that once all your deadlines are hit, once all your documentation has been uploaded, your final payment's been made, and you're getting closer to boarding. So be sure to pay attention to the app when it comes to anything regarding an emergency. So the muster station. When you get on the ship, you will have a safety drill so that everybody knows where to go in case of an emergency. So that way, they're keeping safety number one. That way, and so if something were to happen, everybody remains safe. Disney does an excellent job in making sure all those things get done. So watch those safety videos. Pay attention to anything that they may have that you may need for that embarkation day and enjoying your cruise vacation. Now, when it comes time to embark, be sure that you are on time. When you are booking your trip, you can book an arrival time for your sailing. So that arrival time, be sure to stick to that arrival time. You can arrive, if you've sailed before, you can arrive as, I believe, as early as 10 or 10:30 in the morning, all the way going through the afternoon up to the time where the ship is getting ready to sail. When you are booking your cruise, you can book your arrival time for the port. So whenever you're getting ready to sail, that arrival time is important. Make sure you stick to that time. If you have sailed before, you can arrive up to, I believe it's 10:30 in the morning, going all the way through the afternoon for when the ship is getting ready to sail off. The arrival times are there to make sure that the port itself is not overcrowded. We're trying to make sure everybody has a smooth process in getting on the ship. Now, when it comes to embarkation day and you have your set time, arrive at that time. That way you have a smooth process. You'll arrive at the port, make sure you check in your bags. They'll get your bags essentially from your car, from the bus, however it is that you're arriving at the port. They'll take your bags from there. They'll be in your room, in your stateroom for whenever you get on the ship. They'll let you know what time the rooms are ready. That way, whenever you get to your room, your bags should be right there in your room ready for you. So they'll take your bags, they'll help you exactly, direct you where to go. That way you can get through security, show any sort of your documentation, scan in your boarding pass, all the pieces that you'll need to get through. And whenever you're waiting, the port is amazing. The port in Port Canaveral is the specific one that I've been. I believe that's the main port that Disney goes out of in Florida, which is an amazing port. It is so beautiful. But I love going in there. Just the anticipation of getting on the cruise ship is amazing. And they'll start to call your boarding group. That boarding group is based on your arrival time. So make sure that whenever you're paying attention, while you're in the port itself, waiting for your party to be called, whenever they call your boarding group number, hop on and get ready to have some fun. So when you're getting on, this is the fun part here. When you're getting on the ship, it's always fun, having that anticipation of going from the port itself, walking on the gangway, getting onto the ship. And whenever you get on the ship, be prepared, because they will announce you. They will make you the star of the moment. They ask the family name, and whenever you're going through, they announce the family getting on the ship and make it a big deal. They make you the star. It is fantastic. It is one of the greatest things I like about Disney cruises, and just one of those little special magical touches that they do in making sure that you and your family feel special in getting on the ship and making it a big deal. Now, when you get on the ship, depending on what ship you're on, all of those atriums are going to look a little bit different, of course. So when you're making that booking, when you're preparing for the cruise itself, be sure you do your research as far as what ship you're going to go on, so that when you arrive, obviously, you don't have too many surprises, as long as you don't want to be surprised in any sort of bad way. But whenever you get on, a lot of times they'll have characters there greeting you, as you're getting on, waving hello to you as you're getting on the ship, and it's very cool to see. You get that chance to explore. So again, all the atriums are going to look different depending on what ship you're on. Once you're on the ship, be sure to keep your app handy. The app, once you're on the ship, will be your communication outside of the internet package, of course, if you want to purchase an internet package. The app will be your way of communicating with your family. There's a communication app within there that you can communicate while you're at sea, and also it also has your rotational dining itinerary. Disney is the only cruise line that I know of, at least as of right now, that has a rotational dining for your dinner. So whenever you select your dinner time, whether it be an early dinner or a late dinner, every night of your cruise, you'll be dining at a different restaurant. On every ship, there are 3 main dining restaurants. Those that you'll rotate through on your sailing. Those restaurants will be in places obviously around the ship. When you're looking at your app, it will tell you what your rotation looks like. So take the time when you get on the ship, look at the app, see what your rotation's going to look like. See what restaurant you're going to be dining at that night, and see kind of over the next few days where you're going to be rotating to. That first day of any cruise, Disney's just like any other cruise line in this case. This is your chance to explore the entire ship. I do recommend doing that. Get a lay of the land. Get to know your ship. Get to know where things are. So that way when it comes up for items in your itinerary, say there's a trivia you want to do, say there's a karaoke show you want to go to, say there's some sort of event around the ship, you know where things are, and you're not spending the rest of your cruise just trying to find these locations for the events that are going on. Take that first day, depending on the time you get on the ship, of course, have lunch, enjoy the buffets. That's what cruises are about, just relaxing, overeating in some cases, and just enjoying your time. So get on the ship, have lunch, go enjoy the buffet, enjoy the food that they have readily available for you, and then take that time to explore until they say that your room is ready. Take that time to explore the ship. Like I said, get a lay of the land, know where those bars and lounges are, know where those restaurants are, get to know where those venues are, so that when it comes up for something that you want to do, you know where it's at. This is also one of the only times that you'll get to see the kids area. On embarkation day, the kids area is open to explore for everyone. Once embarkation day is over, once you're out on the ocean, they close it off. It is a kids only area for their security. Of course, that's great for parents, kind of gives them peace of mind. There is a check-in, check-out system that is very foolproof and safe. Disney does an excellent job there. Day 1, that's the day when everybody can see what the kids area looks like. You can see what your kids will be doing, what activity spaces that they have available to them, and they are awesome. I think Disney does kids venues on cruise ships better than anybody at sea. The theming is excellent. Depending on what ship you're on, the theming, of course, will be different, but they are second to none. The coolest kids areas by far. If you go on the Disney Wish and the Disney Treasure, I believe they have the slides for the entrance to the kids area. Embarkation day is the day for adults to take advantage of that slide down into the kids area. So by all means, take advantage of that. So cool. But again, you get to explore. You get to see what your kids will be up to for that sailing, if you do choose to put them in the kids areas at different times throughout the sailing of your cruise. Now, explore the ship, see what there is to offer. This is also a great time, if you want to explore the pools. Typically, embarkation day, the pools are at their lightest capacity. If you want to jump on and enjoy whatever water slides that they have available, as these more than likely, probably, will be the shortest lines that you see there. It doesn't get overly crowded by any means for later on in the cruise, but just take advantage of those lighter crowds in any capacity, whether it be pools or any other venue that you're just trying to explore. but get a lay of the land, learn what the cruise ship itself has to offer, see where things are, and then whenever it comes time for your room to be ready to explore the room. So, staterooms, you're on a ship, it is a tight space. What to expect with your stateroom? Just know that depending on the room type that you choose, there's everything from an interior stateroom, an ocean view, a balcony, suites, and beyond. So depending on what type of room you choose, be prepared. You're on a ship, you're in a confined space. Your room will be small. Now, Disney, from what I understand, Disney has some of the largest and nicest staterooms by any cruise line that's out there. Compared to what is out there in the industry, Disney has the top of the line rooms, I should say. So whenever you get in there, explore. Again, you're not going to have too much space. It is going to be a smaller area for your room overall, but Disney does an excellent job in elegant theming in the rooms, but also making it feel comfy and cozy. From everything from split bathrooms to the way that the sheets are, the comfort of the beds themselves, just kind of getting to know, unpacking and kind of knowing where everything's going to be. They do have safes in the room, so if you bring anything of value, make sure you're taking advantage of utilizing that safe, and just get a chance whenever the room's ready, explore the room, get to know where you're going to be staying over the next few days of your sail. Now, once you have explored your room, get ready to enjoy the rest of your vacation. This is the fun part, is just relaxing and enjoying. Now, the rest of your cruise, get to know your wait staff as you're, just to talk about the dining for a little bit. When you go through your rotational dining, you may be rotating different restaurants. Every night you'll be at a different one, again, based on whatever your rotation is. Your wait staff will go with you. They'll follow you at every restaurant that you're at. This is an awesome chance to get to know them on that first night. They get to know you. They get to know your preferences. They get to know any allergies that you may have, and just things that you like. So that way later on in the cruise, it's a personalized experience. Of course, who else would do that other than Disney? It's a personalized experience. That way that they're following you no matter what restaurant you're going to. They get to know you, so that way, day 3, day 4, they're saying, hey, try this. I know you like this. You said you like this. Try this. I recommend this on the menu. And it's just a fun time. Getting to know the wait staff. They make it fun. They bring in the jokes. They bring in the magic tricks for the kids. They do all sorts of things to make it just even that much more amazing. Beyond the theming of that restaurant, there are a ton of different restaurants. On some of the older ships, you have Animator's Palette. On some of the newer ships, you have the Marvel Show, you have Arendelle, you have the Frozen, you have Coco on some of these newer ships. And so just kind of, no matter where you're at, the wait staff is going to make it even that much more special. So just be prepared to get to know your wait staff. Be prepared to have a blast with them. It's another small thing that makes you look forward to dinner beyond, of course, the amazing food and the amazing restaurants they have. It's a small thing that you get to look forward to going to dinner to saying, hey, I can't wait to see that cast member. I can't wait to see them again and see what their day was up to, and what kind of jokes they have for me today. That's just one of the little small extra magic pieces that, of course, Disney provides when it comes to, just a small thing there. Just another little thing to look forward to. Now, the rest of the dining around the ship, there is always food options up by the pool deck, regardless of what ship you're on. Take advantage. If you're up there on a pool day, if you're up there late at night, just take advantage of the food options they have. The soft serve ice cream. We can't go on any cruise without getting way too full on soft serve ice cream, especially on the Disney cruises. We eat way too much. Take advantage of that. The food is included. Have fun with it. Overall, enjoy the food options that are there and available. Now, there are some specialty dining restaurants that you can choose to book. These are going to come at an additional cost. Depending on what ship you're on, the restaurants may change as far as Fallow or Enchante or any of these restaurants, but these are going to be an additional cost. Again, anything outside of your rotational dining or buffets or just what's readily available, those special bookings are going, of course, it's available based on capacity, what's already been booked. So if there's a specific night you want to go and it may all be booked up, they do have limited capacity. Again, those bookings are going to be an extra cost. be prepared to do that. If you want to do this specialty dining, be sure to go in ready to spend whatever that cost may be for that particular restaurant, because it does vary. But again, do your research ahead of time. See if you want to even do it. Every time I go on a Disney cruise, I have yet to do a specialty dining restaurant, and I'm not missing out on anything when it comes food wise. If it's something that you really want to do, by all means take advantage of it, but you're not have that feeling of missing out. You don't have FOMO when it comes to not booking those specialty dining restaurants. It's just an added little piece of magic, of course, that Disney provides. Now, for the morning, there's always going to be buffets and even a sit-down option for breakfast. For lunch, you have the buffet option, or you can also eat on whatever island or itinerary stop you're on that day. Enjoy that. And then if you maybe don't want to eat at that location, you can always come and enjoy lunch at the buffets on the ship as well. Come back, back to the ship for lunch. And then for dinner, of course, you have your rotational dining, and of course the late night or just throughout the day snack options at any of those pool restaurant options, or any of those quick bite places. Now, when it comes to the bars and lounges, there's always something going on, whether it be pianos, just sitting and enjoying music, whether it be trivia, whether it be some sort of karaoke in the main family game show area. There's always something to enjoy. Now, each of those bars and lounges will have specialty drinks themed to that particular bar or lounge. But throughout the cruise, there typically are specialty drinks for the day as well. Now, keep in mind, any sort of alcohol is an additional charge. Disney does include soda, any sort of tea, coffees, juices, things like that in your cruise fare. One of the only cruise lines that includes soda in your cruise fare. Most places will have a drink package available for you. Disney already includes those soda pieces there. So anything outside of that, again, with the alcohol, that will be an additional charge. Now, when it comes to entertainment on the ship, Disney, of course, like anything else, is second to none. The entertainment, almost every night, they will be doing a Broadway-style show in the main theater on, I believe, every ship. It's called the Walt Disney Theater. It is a Broadway-style show. Each ship is going to have a different show, whether it be Little Mermaid, whether it be Hercules, whether it be Aladdin. Regardless of what ship you're on, there will be a main show attached to that ship. Again, Broadway level productions. These are amazing to see in person. They're so well done, so entertaining, just kind of retellings of some of the Disney classics that we know. Of course, they have additional things as well. They'll have, on some of the older ships, they have the Golden Mickeys, which is kind of like an award show for the characters, a really fun thing to see. They'll have different comedians, they'll have different stunt shows, juggling acts, things like that, singers, what have you. Now, every Disney ship also comes with a movie theater. Depending on the ship that you're on, it may have two. But they are showing first-run movies. They're showing classics. There's even, in the way of movies, they even have the funnel vision out by the pools, the giant screen that's up there, showing Disney movies constantly, just running throughout the day. Just a couple years ago when we went on our last Disney cruise, I took the kids up to the pool. They enjoyed splashing around in the water. I sat there and relaxed and watched Princess and the Frog on the funnel vision while I was just sitting in the water. So it was fantastic. And just so in the way of movies, there is no shortage of that entertainment there. Again, like I said, there's music to listen to, there's comedians, there's always something going on in the way of entertainment. So you're never short of entertainment there. Now, whenever you're on whatever itinerary stop that you're on, whether it be an island or just a different location that you're going to, take advantage of that. Those offshore port adventures, that's where you want to take advantage of doing things like tours and that sort of stuff. That's going to be obviously away from the ship itself, but just know, again, ahead of time, you can book those. And I love exploring and looking at other cultures around the world. Doing the tours is one of the most fun things for myself and for my family, just learning where some of their historical locations are, what happened in this location, kind of the culture of that specific country. So it's one of our favorite things to do. So again, entertainment, there is no shortage. It's Disney, of course. There are also character meet and greets all around the ship. You're not at a park. And on the cruise ship, you're limited capacity to whatever that ship, amount of people that ship can hold. So when you're going to meet characters, there are rarely long lines to meet a character. It's not like the theme parks. So there's character meet and greets. There's all sorts of things to do. Take advantage of everything that you can. Whatever you want to fit in on your cruise. If you want to sit and relax by the pool the whole time, you can do that too. You don't have to go see anything. But again, there's no shortage of entertainment no matter where you go, no matter what you want to take advantage of. There's always something to do, and I love every single bit of it. Now, there's also shopping on these ships. Of course, keep in mind that the shops and all the stores that are on there, whether it be a regular Disney merchandise shop, whether it be a jewelry store that's on the ship, they will not be open while the ship is in any port. For tax purposes, for any sort of sales tax, things like that. So those stores will be open when you're out at sea, so on sea days. Also, whenever you're leaving a specific port for the evening, whenever it leaves, those stores will then open. So just be prepared to go when those stores are open and not be, blindsided when you go up and you want to buy something and you walk up to the store and it's closed. Just know they will have, for the most part, they'll have hours posted as far as when that store will be open and when it will be closed. But just keep in mind, generally, it's around while the ship is out of any port. While it's either at sea or, just like I said, just leaving that port for the day. So there's plenty of shopping. You have jewelry stores. You have general Disney merchandise where, of course, you get any of the Disney Cruise Line merchandise, stuffed animals, hats, t-shirts, sweaters, you name it, toys, collectibles. A big thing for my family is Disney ornaments for our Christmas tree. We love collecting those as well. Pins, if you have pins, there are exclusive pins for Disney Cruise Line if you are one of the pin traders and pin collectors. So there's no shortage of shopping as well. Just to kind of overall what to expect. There is so much to explore about these ships. Every ship is a little different. Of course, Disney has been sailing since 1998 with the Disney Magic was the very first ship. As of this recording, the most recently sailed ship is the Treasure. The Destiny has not sailed just yet, but that is the next ship to come. So all the ships, the Magic, the Wonder, the Fantasy, the Dream, the Wish, the Treasure, all of these ships are different and they are unique. So it's my goal to hit every single one of the ships myself, to explore what all the ships have to offer. But just keep in mind, every ship is unique. There are hidden gems, there's Easter eggs, there's hidden Mickeys all around the ship. There's different things to explore. And so if you get a chance to, especially on a sea day, if you've already done the pool and just saying, hey, I want to chill out, I just want to kind of take in what the ship has to offer, take another time to explore. Find maybe the small hidden details that you didn't see on that first embarkation day when you were exploring around. This is a great way to kind of get to know what these ships have to offer, get to know the layouts, find those little hidden details. There's artwork all around the ship. Regardless of what ship you're on and where you're going, there's artwork everywhere. Beautiful mosaics and tapestries and just framed artwork and interactive artwork. There's even games to play with some of the art that's on the walls, depending, again, what ship you're on. I believe the Fantasy and the Dream have a detective agency game that you can play on the ship with kids. That's a fun one for them to just be interactive with the ship that interacts with some of the artwork that's on the wall. And just different things like that. It's just so cool to see all the little small details that Disney is known for in their theme parks and in everything that they do. See that in the cruise ships themselves, and it is so cool. Now, having recently sailed on a Royal Caribbean, making that comparison there, not to say the Royal Caribbean is bad by any means. Disney just has that extra little magical touch with those details. There's also really cool things to explore on other cruise lines, other cruise ships. Disney in particular has those little hidden details there. Take time, explore, take that all in. Now, when you're looking at the look of the ships themselves, when you look at all the Disney ships from the outside, it was their goal to make their ships look like a classic cruise liner from the early 1900s, and I think that they achieved it. Of course, outside of seeing the giant water slide on top of the ship, outside of that, they did a great job in keeping that classic look. Every ship comes with a different character on the back of the ship, painting the name of the ship on the back. There's a different character there on every single one. Again, every ship is unique. Every ship has its own thing. Take time to explore and appreciate those small details that the Imagineers put in to designing and building these ships. Now, so to conclude today's video, overall, explore what the ships have to offer. Be prepared. Know what you're getting into. Know the costs. Know your dates when booking. Know all the details going into it. That way there's not any bad surprises come time for your cruise, and that you're only met with good surprises in just the stunning beauty whenever you're boarding the ship, taking it all in for the very first time, or for the 25th time, or for the 10th time. No matter how many times you've been on, you get to take in just that feeling of stepping on for the first time, getting ready to sail for your 3, 5, 6, 7 night cruise, whatever it may be. But you just get to that feeling of getting on and having those fun, joyous surprises as opposed to anything you didn't prepare for. Again, to kind of sum and wrap everything up, be prepared to pay a little bit more for Disney. When it comes time for booking, make sure you're paying attention to dates and important deadlines of things that you need to have done. When it comes time to board and get ready for the ship, make sure that you're prepared to arrive at your port arrival time. And then from there, enjoy your vacation. Explore the ship. Get to know your wait staff. Get to know the cast members on the ship. Even, all the way up to the cruise director themselves and the ones planning the activity. Overall, enjoy your vacation. That's ultimately what you're there for. Whether you're going for a relaxing time and just want to sit by the pool, want to sit in a hammock on the beach, or you're in it for the activities, want to take tours, want to do all the trivias, want to do everything that the ships and island stops have to offer, by all means, take the vacation however you want to take that vacation. Just be prepared. Know what you're getting into. Know what you're getting whenever you're paying for this, because it is going to be expensive. Make sure that you're getting your money's worth for whatever you want your vacation to be. Now, I want to hear from you guys. Have you ever been on a Disney cruise? Do you have any tips for booking? Do you have any tips for events and things that you want to maybe do on the ship? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Let's keep it fun, guys. Let's have a fun Disney Cruise Line discussion. Again, remember to like this video, subscribe to our TikTok and Instagram to keep up with everything that we are doing. And I look forward to seeing you guys either on the waves or in the parks. Thanks, everybody.